Johnny the fuck Minerals, who I don't even view as a real human being.
It's guys like Minerals.
Let's have it right.
He's not on my radar. I don't care about him.
You got the Minerals to
one of them brown envelope mobs.
No Minerals.
Minerals. My big up Johnny. Let's have it right.
Do you know what I mean?
Johnny Minerals.
The realness of this guy.
Minerals. Let's have it right.
Minerals FC.
Need proper winning Minerals, mate.
Let's have it right. I'm just a brown envelope, or I'm
Absolutely screwed. Let's have it right.
Brown envelopes.
You brown envelopes from the club.
You got the Minerals to fight for his place.
You are in the woods wronging. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you taking the time out to say that. Cheers. This one's for you. Greetings from Centre Parks, by the way. That's the background. I hope you're all well. This is just ridiculous, though, isn't it?
The Minerals.
Minerals FC.
Do you know what I mean?
Johnny Minerals.
Johnny the fuck Minerals.
The Minerals.
In them, we know that they have the minerals. We've not.
There's minerals that you need.
It's guys like Minerals, and
You got the Minerals to
Let's have it right. Minerals. Johnny Minerals.
like Minerals is one of the very vociferous Chelsea fans.
Minerals FC mudded me. I couldn't give a shit about that guy.
Let's have it right.
Hey, Johnny's got the fucking minerals, mate.
Can everybody just stop getting shot? So have it right, up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC. Big up to every single one of you live and locked in. I hope everyone is doing well, winning live. First and foremost, I want you all to smash to piece that like button. If you haven't smashed it, smash it right now. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do so. We've got the notification bell, ding dong, let's have it right so you know when we go live. And we've got the Minerals FC Ultras membership pinned in the top of the live chat and down below in the description. Salute to all the Minerals FC Ultras. Salute to our Chelsea old boys. We see things they'll never see. And salute to the no surrender mentality. And salute to Eunice Talks Minerals. Big up to you, Eunice. Lovely to have you back on. We know you've been talking a lot of things these days. So respect to you, bruv.
Mate, yeah, it's been mad, and I've had a lot of you lot in the chat over the streams and the watch alongs and all that, keeping me company. So yeah, big up to all of you. And no, it's not. I've not been held up by Donna tonight. All right, been held up by this geezer. We had a little catch up and a little talk, but before all of that, coming on here. But this is going to be an interesting one, yeah, because I mean we saw the Arsenal game. I mean, mate, are you implementing the pillow like I am? Are you making yourself comfortable? Or?
Well, there's two things, because I've seen you're straight out the gutter with your t-shirt there. It's not Cobham anymore. Well, Cobham is
it's
the
not
gutter.
Cobham. It's
right
the favela now.
But I actually I think the pillows are a great shout. It's Eunice Talks Pillows now. But also I will say, since we've had the Hilton advertising stunt in the old women's game, we call it the bed end. Maybe they should hand out pillows to all those that buy tickets to watch Chelsea, so that they can have a lovely kip while they watch the game, or at least have a comfortable arse. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree.
Maybe get a sponsor by what's that? What's the brand? Duralin, so whatever it is. Yeah, that brand that makes fantastic pillows. I don't know. You might know. You're a bit more of an expert than me. DFS, yeah, we could have DFS.
DFS. Oh yeah, DFS. Yeah.
Or BHS at this rate.
Mate, it's like the FNF section at Tesco.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
George, as the George.
George, Asda, yeah.
Oh, we're really aiming high, bruv. The standards are rocketing, mate.
Completely.
But listen, big up to everyone. Do smash the like button. Very important. Likes have been poor recently. So make sure you do. If you're not in the chat, get in the chat. And make sure you do subscribe to Eunice as well. And help them get to the 200k. So let's get straight into it, Eunice. We lose to Arsenal. I predicted a draw. I think you predicted a loss from what I saw from your preview.
Yeah, I saw your 1-1, and I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
But I was like, now we're losing.
So we've lost the game 1-0.
Yeah.
I did my review and I lost my head. My head's gone on my video. Absolutely gone. But I'm going to be a little bit more calculated tonight as I've calmed down, and the emotions are. I'm still rattled, but we'll land it. So basically, the way I look at it is, we were toothless, like Arsenal, who are actually toothless. Like they actually don't have an attack.
Yep.
But we look like we were more toothless than Arsenal were.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say spineless, no mentality, no spine.
Yeah.
Completely flat, no creation, no spark, no intensity, no fight, no hunger, no belief. Absolutely nothing for that entire 90 minutes or 94 minutes. Like nothing. And this was your best opportunity in a let's have it right, a must-win game against Arsenal, where Arsenal are not at their best. They're not even fighting for the title. It's like they've got nothing to play for, right? And they weren't even out of first gear. They don't score. They hardly score. They've drawn a lot of games recently. And their midfielder who's playing false nine lobs a header from a set piece. I mean, it's the first time they scored a set piece for ages, right?
Yep.
Sanchez was getting mocked throughout that entire game because he's so shaky. And that's like what you get for him being your number one goalkeeper and third choice at Brighton. I don't want to hear the excuses of we got injuries, which is what Enzo Maresca come out with and say. We had Palmer announced, not even on the bench, out.
No. Yeah.
Now he had diarrhea from his chippy chips, as we know. But he came on in the Copenhagen game for what reason I do not know. Were we not good enough to beat Copenhagen without Palmer or Casado for that matter?
Yeah.
And now he's injured. I'm going to throw this out there. I think he was carrying I think for a long period he's been carrying something, which might have seemed minute, and that's what's affected his performances. But when I saw him play against Copenhagen, there was something not right. Every time he got the ball, he just calmed it down, went back, didn't want to do anything. It was almost like he looked disinterested. I said that. It's not that he's disinterested. I think he's just trying to make sure I don't get injured. I don't want to get further, like badly injured. Now I think he's properly injured. I actually think it's, going by their track record, I think it's more serious than what we all think it is.
Yeah.
But put that to the side. Enzo Maresca said, we've got the same amount of injuries as Arsenal. No. We've got Sancho, Neto, and Nkunku all available, right? Mm-hmm. They've only got Martinelli and Trossard. They're playing a midfielder as a false nine.
Yep.
Martinelli was on the right as well, which is not his position, which is why Badiashile looked better than what he actually is. But he's blaming our injuries on Madueke. Our goals come from Madueke and Jackson. Are you joking me right now? Like Madueke, and since his hat trick at Wolves and a goal against Nottingham Forest, like, what's he done? Nothing. And what's Jackson done? In the last 8 games, he hasn't scored. Right? So forget that. The main issue is Palmer. Without Palmer, we cannot play. We don't play. We don't have anything unpredictable about us.
Yep.
And today was like, if this is not an eye-opener to see that not only is the manager out of his depth and they're happy for him to do what he's doing because he's a yes man. He's got no pressure. All right. The only ones that give him pressure are the supporters now. They're starting to come on Enzo Maresca.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I don't like it.
Yeah. They're actually turning on him. So it's like, but you're not identifying the real issue.
No.
Like, Who employed him? Who put him in the dugout? Like, this guy's not even experienced. And now we spoke about Reece James, and Tuchel muddied Enzo Maresca, saying, no, he's a wing-back, full-back. This guy don't play with full-backs and wing-backs. The only reason they're playing Reece James in midfield, Eunice, is because they don't want him to get injured. Because when I watch Reece James playing, if you look at him, he's in that zone, and he don't really go. He just plays it safe. You can't have a midfielder like that.
I was going to say, yeah.
You know, he's restricted. Like a lot of these players are restricted in the way that they play. They don't actually know what they're doing. And the balance is all wrong.
Yeah.
So when I put all this into context, there was no chance we can do anything against Arsenal. Arsenal got best defence, one of the best defence in the league.
They got the best.
Well, yeah, arguably they got the best, yeah.
They've conceded the least, yeah.
Okay, so by stats they have, if you go by the stats, yeah, because they love stats and data. Then they're the best defence, yeah. And we've got the worst attack. So it's not rocket science to work it out that you're not going to do anything unless there was one chance with Cucurella. So you're relying on your left back inverting, all right, to play number 10, to have the only chance that makes Raya almost make a mistake and it goes in. It's the only chance we had at goal threat for the whole 93 minutes. And there was one other instance where they made a mistake. The only mistake they made, they gave the ball away recklessly. I think it was Partey or someone. And we looked like, oh, we're going to pounce. And we fumbled that. But if you go back to the first start of the season, the majority of teams we played were either out of form or they gave us goals, gave us mistakes. Ever since teams like Fulham, Ipswich don't give you mistakes, you started to see a pattern where we're finding it harder to score. We're finding it harder to break teams down because we're not actually that good. And if it wasn't for Palmer and Caicedo, we would be sitting where Man United are. Because you can't see where the goals are coming from. You can't see. We've got nothing, mate. Like, honestly, nothing.
No. There's nothing at all. This is why I wasn't surprised. And I just looked at it from that point of view in the preview yesterday, and I was like, yeah, we're losing. Just off the back of we're playing the best defense, and we've got an attack that can't score. Done. And I was expecting Palmer to play. And now he's not playing. And it's funny that you mentioned that because we heard prior to the game that he picked up something in training yesterday, right? And then, obviously, and that, you know, he'll be back before after the international break. Everything will be cool. Afterwards, we hear he's still got to have a scan, and he might be back after the international break. So it's jumped from will to might in like the space of 3 hours.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
People act like they don't know what's going on. We've had that scenario on its own happen how many times this season with multiple players where we think they're out for a certain amount of time and then it gets doubled. Or we don't see them for like months and then they come back. You know, Fofana's come back now. Lavia's now back. But for ages, you wouldn't hear anything. Whereas you think he's probably out for 3 weeks and it turns into like 9 weeks. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if Palmer's actually properly injured now. I wouldn't be shocked. I hope that's not the case. The only time where I've seen we've been told something and it's happened is Reece James recently, where he picked up that little knock. And then I was like, no, he's going to be out for a while. And they did say that he's going to be back like in a week or so. And then it did take a week or so and he was back. I was like, okay, fair enough. And he's not been injured since, right? Cool. But the whole thing about him playing in midfield, this whole idea of let's playing in midfield to then not get injured is like, I'm sorry, for a team like Chelsea, as high as it's meant to be I'm not talking in terms of just, you know, elite levels here. I'm talking as a Premier League team. This could be Wolves. And I'd still say this is embarrassing, right? Yeah. Is to have the idea of he's not going to get injured because he's playing in midfield, tells me that person doesn't know football or has never played the game. I'm sorry, but it's funny. If you go and you look, which position covers the most distance on the pitch on average during 90 minutes?
It's midfielders.
It's a DM.
Yeah.
If you go and look at all the players this season, last season, season before, go and look at the players that have covered the most distance during a game. You can say on average, or you can go per game. It's always the midfielders. Now, whether it's defensive or attacking, if you're playing as a 6, as an 8, or a 10, those are the ones that are running the most. You have more bursts on the wings, speed, of course.
But in moments.
Yeah. And that can trigger the hamstring, don't get me wrong. But to try and pretend you're not running in midfield is crazy. You're doing more running. You know? It could be less tempo at times, but you're doing more running. So to try and make it look like that's going to have no effect on your hamstring, if anything, it can have more. So this whole conception, I don't understand. For me, him being in midfield and not running as much is the same way that you've seen it. It becomes a wasted position.
Yeah.
And then when you see Enzo having to move forward in the way that he was, which I get it, and he did try, I reckon. We saw that chance where he actually managed to nick it and he was trying to run onto the end of it to try and get something. He took the shot. But to be fair, that's all he could possibly do. He's not a dribbler. But that tells me he shouldn't be there in the first place. It feels like everything has been mashed up together. There's loads of holes and loads of cracks, and we're just trying to completely paper over it and just come up with something that we think is going to work in the moment. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Doesn't make any sense.
You know what, Eunice? Going back to, and I agree with that. Going back to Reece James, the thing is, you got to understand is he's still got Casado next to him, because basically what Enzo Maresca is ultimately doing, he has to play Enzo Fernandez. You need 2 DMs. You cannot play Enzo Fernandez and 1 DM. It will not work.
No.
So now we've signed this new Usugu, whatever the fuck his name is. All right, we've signed. We're bringing back Santos. We've got Ugochukwu. We've got Wedding Hall. We've got all these midfielders. Ultimately, none of them are going to start over Lavia as a DM. None of them are going to start over Casado, and none of them are going to start over Enzo Fernandez.
No.
So going forward, the only midfield trio you're going to have is Casado, Lavia, and Enzo. But I've always said it. Enzo Fernandez is a problem. He doesn't give us the balance we need. And take Cole Palmer out of that, where Enzo's got Cole Palmer roaming around, creating space for him. You got nothing for Enzo. And he was anonymous in this game. People are praising him for games after games. And I'm looking at him going, but we beat Leicester and Southampton. We only beat Leicester, what was it, 1-0? 1-0, Man, you just beat him 3-0.
We were celebrating at the end of that, by the way, just,
like, what are we propping here? I wish we could play them every week, but we can't.
Yeah, we can't.
So now we've come to a team that's actually wounded and weakened and is struggling, which is a Champions League team right now.
Yeah.
We couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And then the thing that rattled me the most, which tells you where this club is in terms of mentality, drive, elite status. When you got Timber on the bar going to Enzo Maresca, try harder. And Enzo Maresca says whatever he says, and he goes to shake his hand, and Enzo Maresca goes to shake his hand. Why are you shaking his hand, bruv? He's mugging you off. And Timber's done nothing, this guy. He ain't won nothing. He's done fuck all to give it a big un. But it shows you the mentality of Arsenal, where they go, we've got their number no matter what. We don't even have to turn up. We can walk. We can stroll about and we'll just beat these lot. They're fuck all. They're kids.
Yep. And with that situation on its own, right? Because I saw that and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I couldn't believe it. And then I checked the minute. 93rd minute. So it's not even the 60th. So the 60th, you've got half an hour to get something from the game and change it and turn it around and stick it on him, right? It's the 93rd. You've lost the game. It's done. Game's about to finish. You're smiling and shaking hands with the opposition. But it's not just that, because I posted that. I saw the clip on. I saw it live during the game, but I couldn't hear what was being said. I saw the tweet of it later, the clip, and I saw what was said, and you could hear exactly what was being said. And I was like, flipping out. I posted that, and there was a couple of people who was like, oh no, but Enzo said what he had to say beforehand. Right? And I'm here thinking, what? That's a good thing. There's people propping it, and I'm like, that's a good thing. It's the 93rd minute. Okay, let's paint a scenario. If Maresca was the one that instigated it, what the hell is he doing instigating with an Arsenal player when it's the 93rd minute and you're dropping 3 points? That's one, right? If it's the Arsenal player, if it's Timber who's instigated it, why are you shaking his hand at the end of it?
Facts.
So whichever way you go, what are you doing? He's the one that's taking 3 points. He's the one that's about to win the game, and he's the one that has told you to try harder. Someone was like, if that was Jose, I was like, if that was Jose,
Jose would have he probably would have got sent off.
You probably no. You know what? No, even Jose would have probably. I came up with something that I think he would have said. If he went try harder. Jose would probably be like, well, yeah, try harder to win something. We can continue the conversation or something along that level. He would have just finished him in like 2 seconds, right?
Yeah,
because he's a winner. So whatever way you look at it, Maresca has completely gone the wrong way. And it doesn't. And another thing with Maresca, right? Because I feel like I have to say this, right? After the game, he went over to the crowd and he apologized. Right? He apologized. He put his hands up and to the crowd was sorry, and then he got a lot of hand gestures back, right? Because the fans weren't happy, and rightly so. Minutes later, he goes to do his Sky interview, and he says, "We played well."
Yeah.
So if we played well, why are you apologizing? You know? Or if you're apologizing, why are you going and saying we played well? So the apology meant nothing. Or are you lying? Which one is it? You know, and even Caicedo comes out and speaks to Chelsea, speaks to what the fifth stand that Chelsea media, right? It's not Chelsea TV anymore. And he says that we were the better team. What? We're the better team? Who's telling you that? Or were you even there?
Bruv, all Caicedo was thinking about was not getting booked.
Exactly. Right? So for him, it was a good game.
Good game. I said to him, he was the best player on the pitch, and he's fantastic because he managed not to get that yellow card to miss the Spurs game. That's the highlight for me.
Yeah.
Like you're playing players out of position. You know, what Sancho, bruv. This guy is shit. I mean, he's shit.
I don't think he had a. I saw one thing. He didn't have a touch in Arsenal's box all game, I think.
Bruv, he's had 4 shots since he signed for us.
That's fucked.
Right? Neto, he tries, but he's too busy giving this to a referee instead of fucking doing it on the pitch. And then Nkunku, I don't blame Nkunku. Everyone comes at Nkunku. Their whole agenda's on Nkunku, right? Because it's the easy scapegoat, all right? To avoid actually the real issues at Chelsea. Yeah. But Nkunku, bruv, the way he's been treated, I don't blame the fucking geezer. He shouldn't even be anywhere near our first team because they were trying to get him off the books in January and in the summer.
Yeah.
So you can't blame Nkunku. He's been mistreated and he feels unwanted because you don't know the reality behind the scenes. So I see it from Nkunku's point of view. I mean, he can try, but that's his style, isn't it? He's kind of like that kind of player. He's not really a die for you kind of player. He's quite a technical player. He's more of a system player. This system doesn't suit him, so you're not going to get anything out of him anyway. This
is what I wanted to mention, because as much as this is why I don't go too hard on players. Whenever I do a review, I'm not. Years ago, all you'd focus on was the players, because that would be the only constant. You know, everything is in place and everything is moving as it should. So the players are the ones to now deliver you the outcome. Now we've got problems which go so far beyond players, right? and we try and look at the players for whatever we see is noticeable, like a Sanchez, for example, or something mad. But what's crazy is I honestly look at the players that are playing badly, right? A lot of that is because they're actually playing at Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah.
Because the moment they move on, look, we got Disassi killing it at Villa. Disassi, who was shite.
He's shit. I don't rate him. I don't care what you tell me.
Goes to Villa. He's getting man of the matches. He's looking. Villa fans are praising him and saying we've got one hell of a defender. He's holding it well, even in the Champions League. We'll see what he does against PSG. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do against Dembele. We'll see what he does. What he does. Other players that go, leave the club, they end up looking fine. So are we the problem? Is the internal situation, should we say, at Chelsea the problem? Of course, you just mentioned Nkunku's affected, right? I wouldn't be surprised if many other players are affected with what's going on.
But this is the point you're hitting. You're hitting what I've been trying to explain to everyone. Okay, is at Chelsea, because of the model, which is built by design.
Yeah,
that dictates what you buy and how you buy, right? But you're not buying for footballing reasons. You're not buying for a manager that you're backing because they've changed 3 managers. So you can't back 3 managers all the way through. It's crazy. It's nonsense. They're buying because the data, opportunity for business reasons solely. So what environment is that for, I'm going to say firstly, all players, right? What's the football environment about? It's not a football environment. It's far from it. It's a business environment. It's a stock market environment. It's a buy, sell, loan environment. And no player is respected or valued unless they can bring pound notes, whether it's like Cole Palmer, trademarking, marketing, selling shirts. They'll give everything to Cole Palmer. But if someone like Nkunku, who, well, you don't want to be sold and you won't go where we're going, we're going to treat you like shit. And we're going to set an example. Chilwell, you're not going to go? All right, we're going to tell everyone you're ill for fucking 4 months. Yeah. And then we're going to ship you out where we want. Trev Chalobah, you won't be sold to where we want you to go because we need your profit. All right, we're going to loan you, exile you from pre-season, under 23s training, and then we're going to loan you to Crystal Palace only to bring you back and give all the PR to explain the reasons why they did it and this and that. Yeah. Now, have a think about that environment for 1 second, how experienced players have been treated, where they've got the mental capacity, and some of them don't, but some of them have got that professionalism about them. They've been in the football industry long enough, they can deal with it. Yep. But what about all the kids? And where's the development? How's that going to affect the development of the kids? And how are all these kids coming in and going, oh, I've been promised first team football, but I'm not playing first team football. Yeah. Right. These kids are only coming because their salaries and 8-year contracts, and it's big Chelsea Football Club. And they're sold the dream, right? But you're never going to be able to have a football environment because the club is not about football. It's about making money, paying off their loan first, their 1.2 billion loan of double-digit interest, and then getting their return on money. And hopefully that conveyor belt of players and young players that are being advertised at Chelsea, loaned out, developing. Like Santos, he's developing better at Strasbourg than he will at Chelsea. And when he comes to Chelsea, he's going to decline. He's going to stagnate. He's not going to get the minutes. And there's going to be too much pressure. So as much as these players look great when they go on loan because of that reason. The environment for football at Chelsea is not there. It's clear as day it's not there. So what can we do to change that? See, I'm tired, Eunice, of naming all the issues now, right? Yeah. I know what the issues are. We all know what the issues are, all right? We know it's a yes man model. We know it's a wage capped salary of 150 grand. It's a under 25 years old model purely because there's got to be resale value in every player they buy, okay? They use the data to buy players. They don't use actual scouts. They gutted our Neil Bath and all the elite academy people that heritage in football. All right. They're going with a new age model of Brighton because it's built to make money. Brighton's model makes money. That's what it does. It doesn't win trophies. They're happy to be in the mix to keep supporters on board. So how do we solve it? Well, if I know that the cause of this and why this is happening at Chelsea is because of Egbali, Feliciano and Bowley and the consortium and the debt that they've taken on the club, then everyone under them is irrelevant to speak on them. Because as far as everyone's concerned, in the consortium, Winstanley and Stewart are doing a perfectly great job. Enzo Maresca's doing the best he can, and he's their voice. He's their yes man to speak to the press, to feed this bullshit process, to flip the script to I haven't got pressure to get top four. The owners haven't said top four. That's a 2-year project. To then go, no, we have to get top four. Oh, we need the supporters on board. All this bollocks, all right? Winstanley and Stewart, no matter what they do, they're not going to get sacked. We've protested, all right, and they've gone and signed 2 kids for 70 million euros or whatever it is from Sporting who are unproven. Quenda, who's meant to be generational, is he? He's got 1 goal and 4 assists or something like that, all right? A goal before the pre-season before. Oh, he's playing Champions League football now. At what level, mate? And this other Asugo guy. Like, prop kids all you want. I remember propping Gael Kakuta, bruv. And what happened to him? Not every kid that's got talent is going to be a Lionel Messi, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Not going to be a Cole Palmer. And Cole Palmer hasn't even hit the heights yet. He hasn't won anything with us yet.
Yep.
All right? And we're going to be it's going to be very hard to keep Cole Palmer. But I don't want to go off track. What I'm saying to you is, right, they must be happy with what they're doing because they've gone and given them 70 million euros to go and buy 2 more kids instead of spending that 70 million euro on a Gyökeres or an Osimhen who are monsters and what we need up front.
No, but we're also apparently going to be selling 7 to 8 players to fund the top striker,
which backs the point that I've been telling everyone is so they got 500 million loan, Aries Management at 13% interest, preferred shared owner, partner, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. Bank syndicate loans, JP Morgan, Bank of America, 702 million loan, 7.7% interest. We've had 3 years of this. So you work out what the interest rate over 3 years is on that amount of money for each loan. All right. You're already on 1.5 billion probably. They've spent 1.5 billion. Roman left us 1.7 billion debt free, and we are now in debt. There is no money left. So they have to sell. They're planting the seed using Ben Jacobs, Nizar Kittel and Matt Law, Cornstein. They're planting the seed to all the supporters going, oh, by the way, we bought these 2 kids because they're such generational, and Man United wanted them, Bayern Munich wanted them, so we wanted to go in there quickly and grab them. Yeah, that's the narrative, that's the brief. And let's hype them up like Ben Jacobs after the loss against Arsenal. What amazing talents they are. Fuck off, jog on. Watch your Leicester, mate. Instead of tweeting during Leicester. No, we know you're the cousin of Goldstein, right? So let's have it right. So, what are we doing? We're planting the seed to say, we're just letting you know we've got a sell-7 play. We're a sell-to-buy club now. Yep. We can't buy you a striker that you want until we offload several Deadwood players. Deadwood players that they bought, not Roman.
That's where I was going. Yeah.
So, how much evidence, how much proof do you need?
That's the model.
That's the model.
That is. Do you remember, like, for ages about coming to the time where you'd have to start flipping those burgers? That's the flipping of the burger there. There you are. The first big batch has arrived. The first big batch of players they bought are now going to be flipped
for profit
and sold.
And they do make profit.
That's the model.
People need to understand that they think, oh, they don't make profit. The players that they buy, their transfer fee every season depreciates by about 17, 18% on the books, right? Their value. On top of that, they've spread the payments of their contract on 8 years. So when they sell these players, they're getting the remainder of the contract paid back to them, right? They're getting the transfer fee that they want, which on the books will be, let's say, Chukwuemeka bought for 18 million, right? Oh no, let's use Madueke as a better example because he's going to be sold. So they tried to sell him in sold. Madueke, we bought him for 30 million, right? We've had him for 2 seasons now.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably depreciated to, let's say, 18 million on the books. 20 million, right? Argument's sake. They want 50 million. They want 55 million. Maybe now they get 60 million for him. Well, you can work out the profit there.
Yep.
And that's 2 years of a player being advertised at Chelsea. He's not part of a process. He's not part of us building for the future. None of these players are part of the future. That's the point we're making here. It's a fugazi. It's a lie. It's to make money. That's why they come at me and my channel. Because I know what they're doing. Everyone else in the fan base, though, they won't go near it, bruv.
No.
You cannot talk about Chelsea without addressing the elephant in the room. And I'm not talking about just that the Chelsea team's not good enough and we need ready-made players. Forget that. That's obvious. But the elephant in the room is, why is the model in place that we got at Chelsea?
Yeah.
Because it's the one thing that no journalist will speak about. No one's writing about it. It's public information. Like they're not writing about vivid seats. The debt they took is almost double than what the Glazers' debt is. And the Glazers have been at United for 20 years. These lot are 3 years into it. So we're going to be worse off than Man United, but their bank accounts ain't. They're doing what Glazers do. And people don't know what the Glazers did. The Glazers took a loan. Yeah? And that loan's got 13% interest, ironic, but they're charging the club Man United 28% interest. And they're taking those profits. And they're paying off that loan. Do you get what I'm saying? But the club's still in debt. They won't pay the debt off the club.
No.
So this is what these lot are, and they're all waiting. All these American owners, as Jim White says, they're waiting. I'm telling you, they're waiting for the Super League. It's political now.
I agree.
It's political on.
I agree.
On the structure of the game. Bowley's come in like a big bollocks, a bull in a china shop, saying, it's the pyramid of football. We want to do this, we want to do that, an all-stars game, north-south, generate more money, generate 200, 300 million more. That's what the Club World Cup's for. It's gone from 140 million winnings to $1 billion winnings. All right. It's no coincidence. That's why Chelsea are in it. They're counting on that, by the way. That's more important to them than Champions League football. That's 100%. More important to them than winning the Conference League and Champions League football, because not Champions League football and Conference League will not generate that amount of money like that.
No.
So Real Madrid are in it. City are in it. We're not going to win that. So I also want to put into, just on that alone, in isolation, the Club World Cup. You do realise there's no break for these players to come into the new season. They're going to be fucked.
No.
Everyone's going to be fucked, injured.
Yep.
Right? But I don't want to go into that. But my point is this, Eunice, yeah? We've got a divide in the fan base. The divide stems from the brown envelopes, the content creators, the blue ticks, the copy and paste, right? All of them. Everything filters down from them to manipulate the masses on social media. But social media is not the only place. It's also within the match-going fans now. There's a divide in them.
Yep.
The ownership saw the protest and it hurt them. Trust me, it hurt them. I'm paying the price for it now on my channel. However, they've gone, there's still a divide. We're all right here. We're good.
I agree.
We're going to go and buy 2 more kids and there's nothing they can do about it. And all the journalists are propaganding it because they're happy to get their paychecks. They're happy to write the stories and get paid for it, wherever they work. That's their briefs. They're doing their job to fucking lie to everyone and hide the truth.
Yeah.
But the match game fans, they can't stand Maresca. They're telling him to fuck off. They want him sacked. They know the directors are shit. They know that they're only buying unproven kids. They don't want to do anything about it. So, this is very simple. I'm sending a direct message to the Chelsea Supporters Trust, Beard, Don Rosso, all of the hierarchy in the Chelsea Supporters Trust. Yeah. If you do not make a stand after everything you have witnessed for the last 3 years, after everything that's going on, after all the information that has that we've exposed, me and Eunice, Vivid Seats, which is what set you lot off to protest, stop exploiting loyalty with West Ham, you wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for us with Vivid Seats. Fact, all right? With all the debt that I've exposed, yeah, all the kids they're buying, the dross you're watching, the mid mentality, the directors that are incompetent, the owners that don't communicate with us or give a shit about us or call us clients and customers. Where is it you want to draw the line? Do you want it to go on further? Do you actually think that there's going to be any change? Because I can tell you there's no change. The protest wasn't changed the model, because the model can't be changed, dictated by the debt. The protest was about Blue Coat out, stop killing our club. So the Chelsea Supporters Trust have to land some fucking minerals, fuck their relationships with Bowley, who they are in dialogue with, who still don't give a shit about you, or Egbali, and stop siding and side with the supporters, which is why we all pay our membership for.
Yeah.
Because if you do not set up a protest and unite this fan base, then you're fucking no good to any of us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right? And why do you think there's the 1958 at Man United? Because the Man United Sports Trust are owned and bought with their relations with the Glazers and the club, and now Ineos. Fuck your relationships and your benefits and access to the club that you no longer recognise as being our club no more, and actually fight for what's right. This is the problem. And you're allowing them to kill us. I've had enough. And if no one makes a change, then you deserve everything you get and you'll fucking suffer. I'm not going to suffer because I know the reality. And I am suffering in the sense that I want to help and make change, but no one wants to do it.
Yep.
So if you don't want to do it, fuck you. Don't do it. But don't bitch and whine and cry about it. Don't go to games then. Don't moan that there's half scarves in the away end now. The only reason that's happening is because of Vivid Seats. And that's Bowley. Ticket tout Bowley.
That's insane.
So what do you want to do about it?
Yep.
You want to go on social media and mug off and have a team up and mug off people that you don't like and agenda. It's all fucking child's play. Yeah? It's child's play. I think the rooted problem is people just don't give a fuck no more. They make out they love their club so much, but they just don't give a fuck. And you're letting these clowns win. I'm not. I'm not going to allow it. On my platform, never. So if I'm the only one and Eunice is doing it and we're the only ones, then so be it. But at least I know I tried.
Conscience is clear. Yep, conscience is clear, mate.
It's like that geezer, that ex-stockbroker or trader. Fucking hell, what's his name? Ben Stevenson, I think it is. Stevenson, yeah? Fucking genius, yeah? All right? He betted on the collapse of the economy and he made millions. and he saw what all the elites were doing at Citibank and all this. They threatened him to when he left. They threatened him and they said, "We're going to set you up, this and that," and he got out of it. He said, "If I want to have a kid, and I tell my kids, oh, I bet against the collapse of the market, and I made all my money, but my kids can't buy a property. My kids can't do anything. They're just going to be forever in debt." And my kid says, "Well, what did you do about it?" And he says, "I didn't do nothing about it." What does that make you?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same situation at Chelsea and supporters. We have the power. And it's like you're allowing these journalists, the PR, these accounts that you don't like, these YouTubers and all that, to fucking piss all over you. And do you know what, Eunice? It's upsetting, bruv. It's really upsetting. Like it's to watch this game today. It's basically where we are as a club.
Yeah,
this is what we are. We're dead and buried, and we'll only further go more in the fucking grave at this rate.
Yeah, it's set in stone, and this is where I think there's people that feel like they can't do anything. I feel like as well, what you mentioned about the CST and all of that is so important, because a lot of people that didn't want any affiliation with the protest that happened, or they had their criticism of it, or they said it wasn't organized, or they said that there was it wasn't clear, or the CST has a chance to fix that immediately, right? And not necessarily to just say, oh, organize something. No, but we're all members. And the fact that this far in, and I can testify for this, and everyone who's a member, which I'm guessing 99.9% of the chat right now, and you included, Johnny, are all members, right? We've not got one email or one sort of communication asking us what our concern might be.
Yeah.
Not even a poll has been sent. Like, we've heard that there might be these sort of issues in the fan base. What's your issue with it? Is it this, or is it this, or is it this, or is it this? Even if it's a multiple choice, or just, a question with a box to write in, or nothing. There's been no research conducted to try and find out what the root causes are within the fan base. None. So if that's not even the case, right, how are you going to get any organization? Because at the end of the day, and this is why it was so important to make clear that any sort of protest or things like that doesn't come from, I say, us lot or the people online, or it has to be done properly. And when I see it's match going fans or whatnot, immediately I'm thinking, okay, well, the CST and bodies like that they're aware, they're going to be in and around it, they're going to do what they have to do. Truth is, the last protest that we had was just completely independent of anyone, and it was just fans coming together to do whatever the hell they can do. That is how it's gone down. But it's like you said, instead of just complaining, it'd be nice if something was actually done. And the people with the power to come up with something to organize properly aren't budging. So I'm in the same boat. And I've the fact that it's 3 years down the line and people that are wanting to change the model, but they're making exceptions because of two youngsters from flipping Sporting, right? Oh, you don't really want the model change then, do you? It's as simple as that, because you'd have understood by now there's a lot of youngsters that have been bought already. You'd know what the main priority is, and you wouldn't allow anything to come in the way of that. But you're making an exception. If you're making an exception for one thing, you'll make an exception for others. That's the problem. So moving forward, yeah, I'm in the same area now. I'm like, look, if nothing's going to be done, people deserve what's coming. At this point, I'm looking to the fan base. I'm looking to people that are they're not budging. Even though if they may agree or not, but then they're not budging and they're just accepting, sometimes that can be worse, because at least someone who's being clear and saying, no, you know what? I'm for this and I want this and I like the way we're being run, right? They're being honest. At least they're being straight up and they're telling you, now, you know what? I see the good in it and I'm going to go along with it. Fair enough. At least I know where you stand. You're being clear, right? It's better for someone to let me know, even if I completely disagree with them, but they've told me face to face, straight up, this is the score. Cool. You're being honest. I respect it, right? But the ones that feel like they don't agree with what's going on, but they're just taking slaps across the face and they're just going, okay, that's my issue here. That's my issue here. So whatever comes from this point onwards, it's deserved. It's deserved. Yeah, you're gonna get what you deserve at this point.
And there's two things I want to quickly land on. Chelsea Supporters Trust, yeah. Mike Meehan, yeah, sits on the fan advisory board as well as a member, not as a head, but he's a member. All right. Beard, Dom Rosso, yeah. Is it the Clear Lake Supporters Trust or Chelsea Supporters Trust? I'll ask that question. Because it's not acting like the Chelsea Supporters Trust. And I know there's a lot of people within that agree with what I say.
Yeah.
And I know that for a fact. And I know there's some that don't like me.
Yeah.
But that doesn't bother me.
That's fine.
Just do the right thing.
That's it.
The ones that are praising kids that they like are the same ones that were creating a divide in the narrative of the protest. And the reason they created a divide in the narrative of the protest is to create a further divide, not only in the fan base, but for the protest cause, because the protest, they know how much it damages the ownership's image.
Yep.
And they were working as moles and industry plants for the ownership. And they had to bat on the side of the protest side and tweet it and push it out, because if they didn't, they exposed that they're completely sold out, which they are anyway. But they're trying to disguise their true reality and their true masks of what they are. That's very important to understand, because now the divide is further. I want to show everyone this, so do smash the like button. And I don't know if Eunice has seen this. But he's going to see it now. But it's very important. All right. And I want to show you lot and explain to everyone. This is how our club is dictated with the use of these lot. All right. So we're going to go straight onto it. Bosh. All right. So I said, explain why the Clowns need to sell unwanted players they bought to buy a striker after 1.5 billion spent. Ben Jacobs, Gill, Nizar Kinsella, David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, Liam Taney, Matt Law, Simon Johnson from the Athletic there. I said, I'll do your job. Yeah. 500 million loan at 13% interest rate, Aries Management. 702 bank loans at 7.7% interest rate. Already spent, by the way, right? With JP Morgan and Bank of America, which I said, you won't report that as you're all in the pocket of Blueco with scripted briefs. You don't speak the truth. You do as you're told, sell out bitches, report on Vivid Seats and that they can sell, or simply shut the fuck up. We're not buying their PR. So when I went through, I actually, at the protest, Eunice, I was speaking face to face to Liam Taney from the Athletic, and I called him out on it. And I said to him, I actually brought up the public information, the diagram showing what I've just read out to you about the debt. He said, oh, we'll take a look into that. I said, why don't you report the truth and do your job? Oh, we're trying. Well, I said, you're not trying hard enough. I said, you need to put this out. It's very important you put this out. Supporters know. He hasn't put it out.
Of course not. Because
Paulstein is his boss. And Paulstein will say, you definitely can't put that out. So that's the first red flag. I've spoken face to face. He's light in my face. All right. Now we're going to Ben Jacobs. Ben Jacobs. This is Simon Phillips here. Yeah. Goldstein, who I believe is the cousin of Ben Jacobs, actually on Chelsea. And Goldstein says 100% Enzo Maresca is safe. Okay.
Couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up.
Now listen to this, Eunice.
about the British press. They exaggerate a lot of stuff, or exaggerate a lot and leave stuff out. I'm not going to comment. We've agreed on a strategy, and the way forward is stuff getting done. I don't look in the rearview mirror. This is on the ownership dynamic and the ownership battle. Thoughts?
Well, we do leave stuff out, Todd. And if I wrote everything I knew, you'd be in big trouble.
So if he writes everything that he knows, they'll be in big trouble. That's just Matt Law. Think about all the other journalists that know information.
Can I just briefly pause real quick here?
Go.
You're a journalist. Put out that information then. What's stopping you? If you're really a journalist and you're there to report what is going on and the truth that the public are unaware of, well, put it out then. Why is it you have to send a subliminal to people to make it look like you know something, whereas you don't put it out and actually show what needs to be shown? Why? Well, you're not a journalist then.
No, you're a narrative.
End of story. End of story.
They set narratives. They do. They're briefed by the club. Their excuse is the club tells us the information and we put it out. But you're just telling us here in 5K that you know more than what the so-called narrative of you as journalists, you're told what the club tells you. You know more. You know the debt.
And someone's just put it, and correctly so, gone his editor. 100%. All these guys need to put their pieces through their editors in order for it to get approved. I know that completely. 100%. Yeah. But if that's the case and you know you're being compromised because what you know is not being put out, leave. Yeah. Leave and go independent and do it yourself then, because you got no one stopping you. No, you won't, because you want to keep your job. There we are.
Sellouts. Pound note merchants.
Yeah.
Now, let's go to the juicy one. Let's have it right, Paulstein. David Ornstein, it's the Johnny Minerals dagger. This was in 2023, December. Reminder what David Ornstein told NBC on Saturday. Chelsea are actually 2 windows into a 4-window strategy, so we're being told wait until the 1st of September 2024 to really judge this new regime around recruitment. Since then, we've had the protests, we've bought more kids, we haven't bought Osimhen, blah, blah, blah. Then he says, which was about what, 3-4 weeks ago? Was it? Maybe sooner than that. He says, I can tell you from speaking to rival clubs, they're increasingly speaking well of Chelsea. Quality of signings, age profile, contract lengths, wage bill, Maresca's appointment, multi-club entry with Strasbourg. It's never nice to be told to be patient, but I think that's required. The amount of on and off upheaval at Chelsea has been extraordinary, and it feels like we need to give it more time before forming concrete judgments. And little cherry on top, I'd expect a striker to be signed this summer. So we've gone from 4 transfer windows to what? 7.
Yeah.
So who are you believing here? The narratives are dictated by where the supporters' mindsets are for the ownership to control those situations to keep them on track with their model and their agenda.
Yeah, 100%.
And anytime it gets a threat, they will use these guys to take you away from the focus that is hurting them.
Yep.
Facts. Basic psychology, basic PR, basic business, really, for billionaires. Now, everyone knows Egbali's blocked me on his Twitter, right? And I don't like saying that, but I've been blocked by Matt Law, Ornstein, Simon Phillips. I've been blocked by many tier 1 journalists, yeah?
Yeah.
And it's been for a while because I speak the truth and I expose what they say. And I know what they're saying is bullshit and they don't like it because I have a platform and I've got an influence of some sort, yeah? Egbali is a billionaire, Eunice. And billionaires don't have time in the day. They just don't. That's like Roman blocking me on Twitter and he's a private account. Roman ain't got time for that nonsense.
No.
So what does it tell you that the majority shareholder spearheading, leading, the fact that we've got this cancer in our football club of a model and a fugazi trust process is Egbali. He's got the time of his day to go to my account, click on it and say block. Like I want to follow the wrong one anyway. Because they fear what I do.
Which, by the way, just to mention, his account is private, so no one can see his posts anyway. So why block?
Right. Because you want to send a message.
And it's clear that it's not someone running his account.
No, it's him.
Because if it was, it would be public. It wouldn't be private. And you look at the amount of followers he has. He's like 28 followers or something. But he's following 300 and something odd. So he's clearly trying to keep up the pace with what is going on and what's being said. You know, but no one can see who follows him or who he follows because it's private. So why block? But he has. So
why shadow ban?
Yeah.
And I have to say this because I said it to Eunice backstage, but I say it to everyone. I don't need to do this. I really don't.
No.
I spend my own time to do what I do here. I love football. I love Chelsea, and to be honest with you, the state of football nowadays is a joke. I mean, it's just on a massive decline, and these American owners are killing football with their Americanization model and NFL and all this crap to maximize profit. It's killing us. This is beyond. I'm saying this is beyond Chelsea Football Club and football. It's politics, and I'm someone who speaks against what they're doing, and they can't have it. And these lot are elites, and these elites have a lot of people in their pocket, just like a YouTube and a Twitter or whatever. I don't need it. I actually don't, and I don't have to do it, but I do. I do it because I want to fight. But at what when I look at everyone else and look how like shriveled up their bollocks are, and I just look at like everyone, and I think to myself, well, if I'm doing it and I'm landing it, and I know you all respect me, like deep down everyone respects what I do, but you don't want to do it yourselves, it's pathetic.
Yep.
And we all need to be together to do it, otherwise it's like, what's the point?
Exactly.
But they don't want to work. They don't want it to sort out. They're not interested in it. These journalists don't care. They're happy to take their pay cuts, cash in their pay, and do their job and be relevant journalists. The YouTube platforms are happy to get their views up, their clicks, and do what Epstein FC Island does, and sell each other off and in the circle for clicks and subs, and then there's people like myself and Eunice, independent, that can see it. It's sad, bruv.
It is. It is. And to try and say things and put things out for what they actually are against with, let's be real, powerful people. It can't just be done by 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Like, this is why it needs proper, real backing and organization for it to have an impact. And people need to land it. But there's a lot that are not. As I've said, there's a lot that are not. Journalists and whatnot, I expect it from. But at the end of the day, they're the ones that have to try and sleep in peace at night. Sleep with a clear conscience, which I don't think they have. But you're right. It's not needed. It's not something that has to be done like this. You could easily go just about your life and just not really pay attention to Chelsea and all of that, and it's good. It's lovely, mentally at peace and all is good. Same with me. I could just focus elsewhere and just not really put myself for any trouble, and it's great. I'll be fine. But at the end of the day, when you see what's holding your club back, and it's not on the pitch, but it's other things that shouldn't be happening, the least you can do is say it for what it is. And there's not enough.
Yeah.
And the same people, I saw your stream, was it a couple of days ago? You mentioned a good point. I've mentioned this on there with you before, and this is how it is. It was a year ago or plus where you managed to see a stream that we did on here about change the model. Yeah, and it was right. And now people are saying change the model. Well, it's too far gone. It's not, the model's not changing. When it was a possibility to try and get something done, no one was budging. Now people feel like they may be forced to say something and say, okay, change the model then, and change the directors. But the evidence is now out there that the problem's far bigger than that. But they don't want to go near it. But when the damage is completely done and everything's been well and truly destroyed, maybe they'll go, oh, you know what? No, maybe the owners are a problem. Yeah, no, the owners have already come and got what they came for. Done. You're now dead and buried. And there's nothing you can do. It's done. People, look, we're already 3 years in. It'll probably take another 3 years or so for people to just start clocking on that, you know what? Maybe it's the ownership. After they realize what the model actually is, and then maybe it's the ownership. And then a little bit after that, they might just sell up and go and just leave us to rot. We'd have been, everything would have been stripped, everything would have been destroyed, levels completely capitulated, nothing left. They take what they have to take. Goodbye. They sell up. They leave. They take their profits, and then we're left with ruins, and we're having to build again. But they won't be here to build it for us. They won't be here to do it.
No,
they'll run when it's time to run. They'll run.
They're here to build the value of Blueco, not Chelsea.
That's it.
Salute to the women's team, winning the League Cup. Yeah, Millie Bright, all landing minerals. Yeah, salute to them. They're showing the standards mentality. The manager is talking, but there's no money in that, so they're happy for it to just tick along as it was before. It's untouched, right?
And that's not hard to understand, is it?
No.
There are fans that don't understand that. Oh, why are the women so good there? Someone tried to tell me. Someone, I swear, I was borderline going to get triggered. But someone tried to tell me, but you see the women doing well. That's under Blueco and Clear Lake and Todd Bowley, but you don't mention that. Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're that dumb.
Yeah. Let me show you this.
Yeah.
Let me show you this, Eunice. Yeah. Backed by the PIF, backed by Blueco, comparison, Newcastle and Chelsea. Newcastle 11th, 2021-22. Chelsea 3rd. 3rd in 2022-23. Chelsea 12th. 7th in 2023-24. Chelsea 6th. They've won the League Cup. We've won no trophies. They got UCL football. We got Conference League. 100 million assets. Gordon, Isaac, and who's that? Guimaraes. We've got just Palmer and Casado. Or I mean, you could put Enzo in there as well
for what he cost.
Yeah, for what he cost, but he's not actually valued at that now. Spend 401 million. We've spent 1.5 billion. 6 managers, including Lampard and Bruno Mars. They got 1 manager. That tells you, right? This project is not for football. What these lot are doing.
No. And Newcastle have actively chosen not to spend in a certain way. They've got the money. They're Saudi. This isn't even like a Saudi company. This is the country of Saudi Arabia that are owning Newcastle. It's the Public Investment Fund.
Yeah.
It's in the name. Public Investment Fund. Yeah. And they're choosing to go about it slow.
Yeah.
And that's because there are things like FFP and PSR and all of that, right? But they're going about it slow. But the times, they've won the League Cup now. They're going to hit a moment where they start investing proper.
Yeah.
They start going for 1 or 2 killers. And then the next summer window, they're going for another 2 killers. The next thing you know, after 2-3 years, they've built themselves a monster team.
Facts.
It'll come to that.
They've got all the money, they just can't spend it because the fact that the generation of money and revenue for Newcastle's not enough because they've been irrelevant.
Exactly.
That's their first domestic trophy in 70 odd years or something, 65
70
years.
Domestic, 56 overall. 56 overall.
Right. That's the start.
That's the start.
The Carabao Cup is the start. We have thrown away a Carabao Cup to Veneer Merchants, Liverpool's B/C team in the final. last year. We've
Yeah.
thrown away playing our so-called B team against them away, and we got knocked out by them. Since then, Newcastle have beaten us, Arsenal, and Liverpool to go and win the League Cup. All right.
Yep.
Where's our intent to go and win that actual trophy? This Carabao Cup's got more heritage than the Conference League. I hope people do know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's harder to win than the Conference League.
Big time.
So.
Big time.
It's like that tells you where we are. The fact that we're so behind all these clubs, like people have got in their mind, right? I see him writing, yeah. Oh, look, we've bought this generational talents. We're set up for the 2030. We're going to win trophy. We're going to win the Premier League, and next year after that. But they fail to realize one thing, and it's a very important fucking piece of context here. Is you're expecting Chelsea to traject in that way. And the players are going to develop amazing, like they're already developing incredible right now. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. But everyone else that's already above us is not going to strengthen. It's not going to get better. They're all just going to go on a decline. And Chelsea's the only club that's going to go. You're deluded.
Mate,
You're deluded.
I don't get
This season has been the first season I've seen where every main big hit has been shit. That's the only reason Liverpool winning the league, because Liverpool haven't been that great. It's just that the league's been poor.
PSG today tells you Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
Even when the going gets tough, they can't hack it.
And look at the difference in levels, bruv, of Champions League games, Madrid, Atletico Madrid, PSG, Liverpool. And everyone goes, oh, PSG prove it can be done. Yeah, they got an elite winning gaffer who's a treble winner. He's a fucking general who I wanted. He was my first pick, and he rejected this model, like Nagelsmann said, it's not for football.
He did reject
all right?
it, yeah.
He rejected the owners, not the other way around. Forget the PR. That's bullshit. All right? Marquinhos, Dembele, Hakimi, Donnarumma, all got games of Champions League level under their belt. They've won. Kvaratskhelia, what a baller, bruv. How we didn't go and buy him is beyond me, bruv. That's the play you buy. That's the levels you buy.
Yeah. Yep.
They're doing it right. And their owners own a country. They don't need to fucking make profit. They want to win.
Mate, that's Qatar.
Yeah, bruv.
Full on. Full on. Yeah,
they're going to win it.
Right.
They're going to win it. I think they'll win it.
PSG?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think they will.
I think Classico final.
You reckon?
I think Classico final. I think PSG will go far. I still have this thing where I just reckon any French team will just not go the entire distance. They'll come close, but they'll forever remain close. I just have this thing. I don't know. We'll see. They might shock us, but I do think. Actually, you know what? I think Aston Villa will be a bit of a test for them. Unai Emery and
look at Aston Villa. Look at the business they've done in January.
Look at that.
What's his name?
Asensio, Rashford.
Asensio, but look at the quality.
Yeah.
Look how he's elevated them.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
They've got a balance. They've got a manager that's won Europa Leagues. He's a winner. Yep. All right? Look what they're doing in Champions League. Under Roman Abramovich, I guarantee it, yeah, as it was with him, you wouldn't have Villa, Newcastle, Arsenal above us. You wouldn't have it. You wouldn't have them in Champions League because we'll be in it. Do you understand me? There's no. I'll tell you what. I'm not saying I don't think they will. But if Arsenal win a Champions League, I will blame Bluco because Arsenal were nowhere near it when Roman was in charge. Nowhere near it. And I don't care what project. Roman would never allow any London club to go to that lengths. No chance.
I agree.
No chance.
I agree.
And that's the difference between ambition, mentality. It's not there at Chelsea.
And you know what? I think this is hindsight, of course, but if we still had Roman and Thomas Tuchel still in charge, with the decline, if it were going to happen this way, but if the decline that we've seen in these clubs, even the top clubs, right? I reckon we would have won the league by now.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were hovering around that area, but if you had allowed Thomas Tuchel another 2-3 years or something to really get things after the Champions League and whatnot, really create real stability, right? And get what's actually needed. We have resources. I think that, say with what we've seen with City, Arsenal are just always that hair about team. Liverpool have only just come back into the picture now. I reckon by now we would have got one title.
Yeah.
I reckon. Obviously, that it's all ifs and buts. Can't prove it.
Under
I reckon.
TT, remember, before Reece James and Chilwell got injured, we were top of the league. We weren't even playing at our best, but we were building momentum. We looked like we could have gone all the way.
This is the thing.
Thomas Tuchel would have been backed by Roman. And the reason we would have been back is for one reason mainly. Not only what he's delivered in trophies, standard, but how he dealt with the Lukaku situation earned Roman's trust and respect because he protected his asset.
Yeah.
And Tuchel was well known. Simon Jordan, Joe 90, always comes at Tuchel like, oh, if he doesn't get his way, he didn't want Lukaku. Liam Towney tried to come at me when I called him out. Yeah. I said to him, you said it. He didn't want Lukaku. Yeah, he didn't want him. But he played him. Even when he fucking mudded us and showed that he was a rat, he protected the investment. And I think for that reason, Roman would have gone ahead with Tuchel in a different way where he would back him proper. I agree with that.
Completely.
And all we needed was about 3 players, 3-4 players.
Yep. Because at that moment we were talking about transition at that time.
Yeah. What's this now?
We were talking about what we need, mate. For 2 years with Roman and that amount of transfer window, mate, the transition would have been completed. We would have been able to go and get what we need.
And this is a fact. Big up to Crumb. They say TT's talent ID was shocking. Yeah, he wanted Dembele, Rafinha, he wanted Marquinhos, he wanted De Jong, he wanted Gordon. He wanted was it Lewandowski? I think he wanted Lewandowski. Yeah, right.
Why wouldn't you? Yeah,
right. But you look at the players that he wanted; they're ready-made, but still young.
Yep.
That's what we're not buying. So when we say how can we rectify this, Eunice, it's very simple, isn't it? Go and buy an Osimhen. Right? Go and get Diogo Costa. Get someone of Bastoni's ilk. And bring me a fit DM, an able DM. I rate Lavia, but he's unreliable.
Yeah.
Right? Bring me a fucking elite DM, right?
We got a Mugu.
Yeah.
But it goes back to that conversation earlier on. We played Reece James in midfield. We ain't got midfielders, but a Mugu sitting there. Why did we get him in then? But we were told, got a Mugu. Come on, man. People haven't realised this by now.
Where's Reece going to play then when this kid comes now? He's going to play him right back.
Tell me about it.
And he's going to go, I only see Reece as a right back now. I got it wrong.
This is the problem.
Bullshit.
And it's pushing the goalposts. Every single time, it's just pushing and pushing the goalposts. Move the goalposts. Move the goalposts. Move the goalposts. And the fans are lapping it up. People are lapping it up. Now, these 2 youngsters will come from Sporting and people will go, oh, okay. And then we've been told we're getting a striker. Okay, wait for the summer. When the summer comes, if nothing happens, all right, we end up with, I reckon it's still going to be Delap. Personally, I think it's going to be Delap. Right. And then what? Fans will go, okay, now we'll see. Now we'll see what this is like. Great.
Yeah, we'll see what this is like.
They've just bought themselves a new one more season. Great. And then towards the end of that season, they'll move the goalposts again. And they'll give you something you want to hear. And then it'll go again. And fans haven't realised this. I don't know. Then this is why I say they deserve what's coming.
Since the protest, they've bought Dennis from Corinthians, right? 17-year-old. They bought that 16-year-old Kazakhstan player, Satpav.
Yep.
And now they've bought the 2 from Sporting Lisbon.
Quenda and Asugo.
So that's 4 kids that they've bought. And they've spent all that money and they haven't bought us what we actually fucking well need to deal with it now.
And we've got Esteval coming in, we've got Paez coming in, we've got a few others. Yeah,
Petrovic.
Yep.
If they want to pay his increased wages, which is the agreement.
Exactly.
So,
but we have the money to go and spend for those guys now, and that's going to be done in 2026. But then we're going to have to sell 7 or 8 players to go and get one striker. We're being briefed. We need to sell 7 or 8 players. Who the hell are you looking to go and buy? Flipping Ronaldo's regen, or are you going after Mbappe? If you are, let us know.
Yeah, but this is the thing, Eunice. Right? Is I'm not even asking for Mbappe's because it's unrealistic on the wages.
But
we're not even asking for that.
I'm saying that the brief is 7 to 8 players have to be sold to go and get one striker. What a load of crap! When we've just gone and bought 2 youngsters from Sporting for what? Is it 70 million total now for those 2? Around there, 60, 70.
Yeah.
So the money's there. Gyökeres's release clause is what?
60 something, 65 million. There you go. Because I don't think he'll come.
Of course he won't.
and they won't pay the wages. And you know, Williams coming in, yeah, Esteval, and listen, no one's saying that there might not be wonder kids, but everyone looks great in Brazilian league. Everyone looks great in fucking Ecuadorian league, whatever league they come from. Yeah, they look great. You know, they look levels above everyone. Put them in the Premier League, but you're putting them in an environment, a football environment. And they're putting with Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer's senior to all these lot, and he's only 22. 23. I think Palmer's going to be out for a while. All right. Yeah. I think we won't get Champions League football. I actually think we'll finish 6th. Right. That's what my prediction was. I did that.
Is that Europa?
Yeah.
I reckon. Yeah. You know what? I'll say this now. I reckon if we get Europa, I reckon the club will make it look like it's something good, and I think fans will go, "Oh, it's an improvement from last year. We played Conference League."
Yeah. That's what the PR will be. But the funny thing is, next season you ain't gonna be able to fucking PR nothing. Do you know why? Because this squad's not gonna be able to cope with Europa League level and Premier League level. And if we do get Champions League, we're done in the Premier League. There's no way they're coping. No way. And we'll get knocked out pretty quick.
And there have been examples of that. Look at Villa last season and look at Villa this season.
Right.
Look at Newcastle when they qualified and look at Newcastle the season after.
Yeah.
And these are clubs that actually seem like they know what they're doing to an extent. Forest will be the same. Forest will be the same. They've been brilliant this season. Next season, wait for it. They'll finish 9th or something.
As Forest used journalists and trust the process PR, no, they don't need to.
They don't have to. No,
if their owner actually goes in and buys like that little bit of quality, all right, builds a squad, they'll build upon what they've got now because they've got heritage, Nottingham Forest, yeah. But you know, sometimes it's the DNA in the club as well. It's like it's through the fan base as well, and what you've won. It's like Real Madrid were dross against Atletico Madrid, but they just got that in their DNA, that don't never die mentality, winning mentality. No matter what, we're just going to get through. Chelsea, that's what Chelsea is, yeah. But that's because of the fan base. But now Vivid Seats has infiltrated the fan base, weakened it, and created a more of a divide, which suits them because they're getting their pound notes. And that's a big problem we got. We've got it at all angles, divides everywhere.
There are.
Everywhere.
There are.
By design.
Yeah. And the problems are so, I said this, they're so multifaceted. Not just one issue. There's so many different layers to this cake, and the cake is toppled over, and it's a complete spider web of crap. It's out of order.
It's grim. It's grim. It's out of order. 100%. This is the latest. The Chelsea sporting directors will hire someone next that you rate even less than Maresca and will be even more of a yes man. So careful what you wish for.
And where's that come from?
That's the goldfish. Yeah. It's no surprise. It's accepting defeat, and it's acceptance of mediocrity that we got now. And you're basically saying, deal with this mediocrity in dross, because it will be even more dross the next manager that comes in. When the real tweet should be, get rid of the directors and let's get the ownership out that can sell the club instead. But you won't do that because you're bought. Jody Morris come out and says, what an awful game of football this has been. We've been dominated twice by Copenhagen and today by bang average Arsenal side. Facts. I'll be saying it.
Yep.
And it takes Jody Morris to come out and say it for maybe people to take note. That hit 5.9k likes.
He's right. Yeah.
He's right. Of course he's right. We're right. We said it. We know. Yeah. But at Chelsea Football Club, that's it. No design, no fight, no leaders, no spirit, no heart, no quality, no idea on the pitch, no idea off the pitch, no front of shirt sponsor, yes man tax. It's just never ending, bruv.
No. This is why I said
there's more wrongs about our football club than there is right.
Yeah.
The only thing you can say is Caicedo, love him, and Palmer.
Yep.
What else is good that they've done? Apart from not touch the women's team.
It's funny. I looked at the women's team after they won the League Cup. Actually, no, I'll tell the truth. It was during the game. During the game, I was like, you know what? I'm seeing these women. They were up 1-0, right? Before City equalized, because I managed to watch the second half. And I was like, let me go and do some digging. Because they're about to win a League Cup. So I looked at their squad. I was like, oh, let's see if the model has affected them in any way, right? So I've gone and I've looked. And I couldn't find anywhere that actually told me all on one page. So I kind of had to work it out for myself. They have an average age of 26, right? They got 31-year-old, absolute legend, Millie Bright, who's our capo, right? She's got she plays like JT, let alone flipping, has the demeanor and whatnot, but she's class. And we've got other players in around certain positions that are of a certain experience level. And we've got some younger players. Lauren James is an example. And we've got a couple of other 20-year-olds. And I don't think we go below the age of 20. I think there's one 19-year-old who doesn't really get much game time. Sam Kerr is in her 30s now. Lucy Bronze, I thought we brought last season. We brought her this season, at the start of this season. Yeah. She's already, I think she's 33 or she's 34. We bought her this season. But she's been to Barcelona. She's won trophies. She's been to Lyon. She won trophies. If I'm not mistaken, she played under Bompasta. Does that sound like a very well-run football club? Yes. That is exactly how you do it. Yeah? Oh, but for the men, nah, no way. And then there'll be people that will praise the women's team and then look at the men and go, oh, no, but we're doing this right. Tell me what the hell we're doing right. You've just looked at the women and gone, that is exactly how you should be running a football club, because that is being done for footballing reasons, because there's no money in the women's game. So the only way to be relevant and make money is to win something, because the women's game is still growing. And you look at the men and it's night and day. It's night and day.
Says we've won the League Cup. I'm thinking about the other three.
And then listen. Okay, so the game finished, right? And I was watching, and I was like, something's not right. No one's celebrating. What's going on? There's a couple of jumps and a couple of high fives, and I'm like, this ain't right. You've just won a trophy. And then I'm thinking, is the League Cup not really big in the women's game, maybe, because I remember when the League Cup wasn't so big in the men's game, and, you'd win it and you'd be happy, but it wouldn't be flipping,
Yeah.
Whereas now it's kind of like people look at it on the same level as the FA Cup, which it shouldn't be. That's just the truth. It shouldn't be. They win. First thing Bompasta does, she's gone and shaking the hand of the other manager. She's walking, taking her time. Little high fives of a couple of her players, and she gets everyone into a huddle. everyone into a huddle on the pitch. Everyone's calm. No one's jumping up and down. And she starts giving a team talk there. Going, and you could see her gesture it. We've got one in the pocket. And now it's about the rest.
Yeah.
Immediately. See, they've just won the League Cup. And she's already saying, look, that's just the first one. Yeah, we've got 3 others to go for. And we've got a game next week, a game coming up in the Champions League quarterfinal. Millie Bright, straight after that, comes on TV, has her interview, and says, there's no celebrating tonight. We're going to head to bed, recover. We've got Champions League on Wednesday.
Love that.
I remember when JT used to talk like that. You know, I remember when we used to have men like that. Where's the men gone?
Do you know what? Emma Hayes' DNA, Chelsea DNA is still in these players.
Yep.
And it's continued with an experienced Champions League winning manager.
Bompasta's class, yeah.
So it's on the right path. It's untouched. But they got no interest in that. It's not got the pound notes. They want the men's team. That's their bread and butter. I want to read you this, Eunice. Fun fact. So 3 years under Blueco, we've got no wins against City, Arsenal, and Liverpool.
Yep.
Pochettino last year got 63 points in total. Maresca's on 49 with 9 games remaining. So mathematically, if we win all of our remaining games, which we ain't, we'll end up on a maximum of 61 points, which is less than Pochettino last year.
We're on 49 points.
Yeah.
We got 9 games to go.
Yeah, we've got to win them all.
That would be 27 points. Wouldn't it? If we won all of them. What we won't.
No, we're not going to win them all.
We won't.
I thought. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it is more than 63.
Yeah. But I've seen projections on what a lot of people basically based on last season, based on the season before, on how we've been moving against those teams that we got left. We're projected to finish less than what we did with last year. I've seen that.
So if we finished 6th last year, then it could be 7th or 8th.
Yeah, and the thing that there is last year that there wasn't last year, that there is this year that there wasn't last year, was there's a 5-point gap between 4th and 10th.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. Even Fulham are in the mix now. So, but we've got the hardest run out of everyone.
Yeah,
we've got the hardest run.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this: Newcastle, the biggest threat. They've just won a League Cup. They're pumped.
They're good. Yeah.
They're ready to go on a run now.
Yeah.
They got 1 game a week. They got no distractions.
Yep.
They're going to get that 5th spot.
Yeah, I reckon your projection of 6th is realistic. There's still Brighton and Villa.
I think they'll slip off with Champions League.
It depends if they get through or they get knocked out.
And I think Brighton, Bournemouth, although they're not far behind, I just think they'll fall off.
Brighton at the moment are. This is going to sound terrible, right? It's going to sound horrible. And I hope no one at Blueco is watching this. Brighton are the most informed team right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Can you imagine if Brighton finish above us? And they'll go, that's the project, guys.
So, see? That's what we're trying to be.
That's what we're trying to do.
That would be embarrassing. That would be fucked.
What's their fixtures? Do you know what their remaining fixtures are, Brighton? Because that's the key.
Brighton have. Okay, so they've got. Oh, they've still got the FA Cup. Yeah, they've got Brighton. They've got Nottingham Forest in the cup after the international break. Then they got Villa at home, Palace away, Leicester at home, Brentford away, West Ham at home, Newcastle at home, Wolves away, Liverpool at home, Tottenham away. And what about Newcastle? Newcastle.
Well, we got them away, which we never get a result.
That's a 6-pointer right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
That's before Man United, and then Forest we got away.
Exactly. They've got Brentford at home, Leicester away, United at home, Palace at home, Villa away, Ipswich at home, Brighton away, us at home, Arsenal away, Everton at home. It's going to be tight. Be very tight.
That's a tough running, but I think they got enough quality.
But as a tough running,
quality, man.
Compared to us, like we've got Tottenham next. Do you think we'll beat Tottenham? They lost to Fulham to shit.
Yeah, they are shit. Listen, with Spurs, yeah.
You never know.
Did you see Tell go to the away end?
No.
The player that we tried to sign that rejected us.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. He was in the away, actually in the stand with the supporters, trying to like speak with them and let them know, like, you know, like a type of way of understanding where they're coming from, because they lost 2-0, yeah? And they've been on a dross run, but they've got their players fit. They're due a performance. I just really fucking hope it's not against us. Because if it is,
that's us. That's an illegal offence.
If it's us, I'll tell you this now straight up. If we lose to Spurs at home, if that does not warrant a protest and fucking axe everything at this football club, then I don't know what will. Because that is one game I will not accept, bruv. I will not accept losing to Spurs, especially at home. I won't accept it.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
It's criminal. And they're shit. I think we'll beat them. I just think it's just the history of Tottenham. I think we will beat them. But I don't think it's going to be a reflection of, oh, we're going to kick on for the rest of the games. No, I just think it's just that one fixture we'll win. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
No, because everyone else will be picking up points or dropping points. But what worries me is Liverpool at home onwards. Those 4 games, Liverpool, Newcastle, United, Forest. That's how we end the season. That's got 12 points written over it. And
right. So if you look at when we play Liverpool, Liverpool might have already won the league. Or if it's the game to win the league, then that's dangerous. But if they've already won the league, mathematically, you might get a draw out of it. You're not going to beat them. They're just going to be too strong, right?
Yeah.
Man United, Newcastle away, I just always write that game off. We're shit at St James's Park. We just don't win there. Bogey ground.
Yeah.
Man United, we've got the ability to beat them, but I think that'll be a draw.
They're pants. They just show up against us.
But history tells you a draw.
Yeah, every time.
All right. In the last game of the season, Nottingham Forest, they're probably already qualified for Champions League. There is a chance we beat them. But we've already dropped the points before we beat Nottingham Forest, is my point.
Because before, like, we got Tottenham, Brentford away. Conference League is in the midst of this, but we've got Ipswich at home, Fulham away, Everton at home.
Everton at home, we should beat them. But I'm going, listen, all season, I've been going into every game. I don't know how to call it. I don't know who's going to turn up. It's all down to whether they make mistakes, the opposition. I always said that.
Yeah.
Just the way we're playing now, Eunice, bruv, is worse. It's worse than the run we went on since December, where we got 2 wins out of 9, 2 wins out of 9 or something stupid, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Right?
Yeah.
The performances are worse.
They are. They are.
And I think a lot of players are burnt out. Some players are coming back from injury and not even match fit. There's too much unbalance in the team. There's no mentality. The manager's fucking on it. He's on thin ice. It's just all PR. It's all that shit about him coming in with the supporters, trying to throw a dig at the supporters, like the supporters don't support Chelsea, the Chelsea every game. They're always. I mean, to pin it on that is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the results and performances that dictate how the fan base reacts. It doesn't mean they're not supporting the team.
No. And those same people will be the ones. I've seen this put out. They'll use like what Jose said about the fans, if you remember, asking the fans to be louder, right? We were top of the league when he said that.
Yeah.
We were top of the league when he said that. And then the next day, everyone did reflect and go, okay, yeah, cool. And then it kicked on from there. And he praised the fans and what they did in the very next game, right? But he said that when we were top of the league and he thought we were being quiet. He's top of the league. He has the authority to say something about the fans. If you're top of the league and you feel like you're not getting enough support, you have the authority to speak that way because you're top of the league. Fans can't ask for more.
Pep did it with City as well.
But you're stinking out the place and fans have nothing to even react to. There's nothing to react to. They can't even get pissed off. There's nothing to react to. The game's dead. It's not even like we've made 10 million mistakes. That would warrant anger. We're not even angry. Fans are not even angry. Fans are just watching, like waiting for something to there's nothing. There's nothing. Conference League, look, I'm getting pillows out now. This tells you what we're seeing. It's a snooze fest. So there was no different. So yeah, for Maresca to talk about the fans in that way, as an excuse, like that's going to resolve everything.
And fist pumping when we beat Leicester and all that. It was absolutely
embarrassing. Even Copenhagen towards the end, same story.
Yeah.
Him and his staff giving each other hugs and whatnot. I'm like, this is just to try and create an image like everything's okay.
Yeah.
Because if not, you wouldn't have to do that.
No.
Realistically, you should, just like Bompasta has with a woman who's won a title, who's won a cup and gone, yeah, you know what? This isn't it, ladies. We've got more to go. Yeah. After a win against Copenhagen, you should be going, that's standard. We knew this was coming. Cool. We were looking to Arsenal. Next, forget this. But nah, they're going to try and paint the image that everything is lovey-dovey. It's great. Yeah, we're kicking on. Reality is going to hit real quick.
Bro, if we win the Conference League, they'll do a parade, these clowns.
They actually would.
Yeah.
And people will prop it. And when I look and I go, I don't shit on the Conference League, but I don't pick it up. Like, it's the Conference League. What are we doing? Right? But people will go, okay, we'll complete the set, finish the set. Okay, cool. Fair enough. But I'm not going to big it up. And when people go, oh, no, but it's a trophy. Yeah, West Ham won this trophy. West Ham won this trophy. What are we doing?
You can't be taking a piss out of the Hammers for winning that, going, it's a tin pot trophy, and then you lot start celebrating it. It's just embarrassing.
Exactly.
You can't. And I'm definitely, I don't rate it. I think it's been an absolute hindrance, bruv, playing this shit and watching these games and playing Thursday nights and all this A and B team bullshit narrative. And everyone's laughing at my thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? The reason I wrote that, I got that thumbnail is Enzo Maresca's sleeping because that's his football and that's Chelsea right now. The Lions fucking in a coma, and Lego Head is on that same level of phase 5, 1-0.
Mate, did you hear what he said about us?
I'm about to tell you now. Chelsea are the best attacking team in the league in open play by a mile. The stats say it, and what I've seen say it. So that's why he's in bed with Maresca. That's disgraceful. He's even getting he's getting told to PR for Chelsea.
It's mad.
That is
This man.
that is criminal.
That tells you how he's operating and how they're operating.
Bruv, they're laughing. They've just beaten us 1-0 and they're saying they've got the best attack. Like,
Yeah.
you know. And we had
But
one shot with Cucurella.
That's their PR. That's to make them look like today was a great result, lads. Yeah, when to be honest, Arsenal were poor. We were just tragic. Simple as that. Arsenal were pants, and I use this analogy on the watch along. Arsenal showed up with a knife to a gunfight, and we showed up with a rolling pin.
Yeah.
So we're still at a disadvantage, even though Arsenal didn't do what was right.
I just think he's taking a piss. I just think winds me up.
Yeah.
I mean, he's won fuck all for
done
5 years. He's still not won a major honour, and he's got the arrogance to speak like that. It's just a joke. And he spent 800 million.
He's also using whatever PR he can get, whatever he can do to just make it look good too.
That was dross from them today. It was dross.
It was
even more dross from us.
Yeah.
And we're the ones that are in need of. They can drop 3 points. We're in dire need of 3 points.
Yeah. And we're in a position. Maresca spoke after the game and said that Jackson, Madueke, because when they come back, we have injuries. What, Arsenal don't have injuries? Arsenal don't have a front line. They've had to rely on what they've put out today. Normally, that's not their front line. Normally, they've got Saka in there and they've got Havertz in there and but they've not got that.
Mate, I'm telling you,
they've had to do with it.
It was damage limitation just at 1-0. Like it was like almost at some point we were playing like we're 2-0 up, right? Or 3-0 up, right?
Yeah.
That's how it looked. But what was scary is Arsenal still had it in them to score maybe 2 goals, 3 goals, right?
Yeah.
And they weren't even trying.
No.
Imagine if they did have Saka, Martinelli, Havertz.
Just imagine last season again.
We would have got fucking beaten 5-0 again, maybe 6-0.
Yeah.
And then what? It's a complete meltdown.
Yeah.
This is worse for me. This is worse.
Technically, it is. Yeah.
It's
because
the mentality is gone.
Is in the bin. Yeah. Last season exposed the level, right, of the team.
Yeah.
This one has exposed the mentality of the team and of the club as a whole, Maresca included.
So this is where it becomes dangerous on 8-year contracts. You're going to struggle to sell these players, but also you're giving them all the power. So Maresca's showing that he's not really in power. They must see Winstanley and Stewart at the training ground sending little messages and that. They're not stupid, these kids, but they know, like, maybe they've just lost respect for him and they're not playing for him.
I wouldn't be surprised after what we saw today with that handshake. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that was shocking.
And
that's criminal offence. You can't be doing that.
Yeah, it is.
That's defeatist, dead mentality, bruv. It's just.
As I said at that moment in the game, like I said, if it was the 60th minute or something, and you're whatever you're trying to play a mind game or something, fair enough, right? And you can still win the game. 93rd minute, ref, it was about to blow the final whistle. There was 4 minutes added on, and that's what you're focused on with an opposing player who's taking the mick out of you, and you accept it, and you smile, and the players are meant to get mentality here. And then we hear, like I said, Caicedo after the game comes out and says, we played well. We played better than them. We were better than Arsenal. We're smoking something strong here, man. This is insane.
Well, I said, we've got a third choice goalkeeper in Sanchez from Brighton, all right, as our number 1. All right.
Yeah.
We've got a defence and midfield, like Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue, bruv.
Facts.
And then up front, like you say, bruv, we've got dentures, bruv. I mean, we look like crackheads. Crackhead ain't got teeth, bruv. It's like that.
Yeah.
And the fan base is smoking like they're crackheads.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're on.
It's mad. And it's crazy. people say I don't recognize the club or I don't recognize this team or whatever. I even don't recognize this fan base now. I don't. I was speaking about this on the stream earlier on the watch along, and I was comparing like what the fan base were 2010, 2012, 2014, 2016. This isn't the same fan base. But this is something's gone majorly wrong. Before, everyone would see it for what it is and all speak on the one same issue that everyone knows is the problem, right? Whether it was Scolari or whether it was AVB. AVB was the catalyst for me coming on the platform, right? But everyone knew what the problem was. Later on, everyone would pinpoint whatever the issue was, and it would be clear. This is the first time I'm seeing like all sorts of angles, and I'm like, I don't recognize the fan base, even them.
Facts. What we've been saying, that's the divide now.
Yeah,
been infiltrated.
Yeah,
and like you got to look at Enzo Maresca. You can't just blame it on him because he's dealt this shit hand. But at the same time, he's chosen his bed. He's got a lie in it. He chose to be a yes man. So I don't sympathise him with in that sense.
It's true, because you look at how he was speaking and what he was doing at the start and what he's doing now. Those are two different people.
Yeah.
Just even in his demeanor and how he sets his team up, two different people. How he's talking, two different people. You saw how we were playing, and I remember I mentioned this earlier. I remember doing at the start of the season doing a video with Nini. He brought me on, and we were talking about Maresca and the good start that we had. And I remember mentioning about how dynamic we were looking and how direct we were playing. We're going from A to B real quick, and I love that sort of football where you just go boom boom, and it's lightning. I love us playing that way, and we that's how we used to counterattack for many years. I love that. That's how we were playing. We ain't seen that in months. That's gone.
That's how we should play today. And you know what? Arteta, Lego Ed, showed versatility and set his team up the way he did because he knows of the capabilities of that team and he knows he can rely on the defence. Enzo Maresca didn't tactically set us up as a low block so that we can use Neto, Sancho, and Nkunku and Enzo to push up to counter.
Yep.
He had enough protection in front of the back four if we counter, because you've got Casado and James there. You've got Cucurella inverting. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You're playing three centre-backs. That's the way to play. Yep. And you're away from home. It's a given. Didn't play like that. You wanted to do all this fucking horizontal, inverted, pass sidewards, pushing back.
It's horrible. Someone in my chat, I forgot who it was, he said it right. He said, you know what? We should just play rugby. Because in rugby, you're not allowed to pass forwards. You have to constantly pass sideways or backwards. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. We should just start playing rugby then.
And what about what he did say about Enzo passing backwards and this, and Sanchez can't boot it out?
Yeah, if not, they're hooked. I take them off. If Enzo doesn't pass backwards, I take him off. If Sancho doesn't hit it long, if Sancho hits it long, I take him off. What kind of talk is that?
Why did he take Sanchez off early in the season when he was kicking it long?
Yep.
Wasn't it against who was it against? Fulham? He kicked it long and then they hit us, or Crystal Palace. It was one of them games. A few games.
It was. Yeah, he hit it long and then he got the blame for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, hitting the ball long in football, guess what? It's normal.
It's normal, mate. You don't just... If you have a good enough goalkeeper, they can play a fucking 30-yard pass and it will come to the feet of your player.
I tell you, when Sanchez hit it long early on in the season and it landed for Jackson straight away when we scored, the Sanchez got the assist. No one was batting an eye then, were they? That was a good thing.
Yeah.
But we get one goal that we concede because of a long ball, but as a result, as a consequence of a long ball that was made, and now a long ball is a problem. This is what I'm saying. But people that think like that don't know football, as far as I'm concerned. You don't know football.
And they go, don't tell me I don't know football. You fucking don't. You don't know football. We know the proven blueprint. Every other team above us uses that blueprint. We're not. So what does that tell you?
No. Yeah. So that's insane. And that's the one thing with Maresca that I've found I don't feel comfortable with is that shift and that change. And all of a sudden he's become an extremist.
Because he's feeling pressure deep down. He's trying to give off their aim. They're desperate for Champions League, Eunice, and you know it. They're desperate for it. They're on their knees for it. But what they've done is they created an insurance policy. If we don't get it, we're back in Maresca. Next year we're going to go again, and we're going to get it. You know, we believe in everything we're doing. We're taking the sample of the purple patch in the first start of the season when everyone else was dross around us, but we looked like we were amazing. And now we played teams that were actually in some sort of form and actually set up well against us, and they beat us, right? Yeah. And now we're on a decline, all to promote their kindergarten FC waffle and their project. But if they do get top four, they're going to go, we've overachieved and we're showing great potential and great progression. That's going to be the narrative.
Yep.
Or if we don't get Champions League, but don't worry, we've won a trophy. We've won a trophy. You want trophies? We've won a trophy. Yeah, but what trophy, mate? What trophy are we winning? Let's ask, why are we in that trophy? Why are you propaganding a Conference League trophy if you're so desperate for Champions League?
Yep.
Iqbali goes, I crave Champions League football. Well, why have you fucking sabotaged our club when we were in the Champions League? To go, and I hate this saying that Enzo Messi goes, we want to bring Chelsea back to where they belong. We were fucking there when you bought us.
We were there.
We were there. You had to build upon it.
Yep.
That's a joke, man. We've gone really long, actually. I didn't realise. Fucking hell. Big up to you. Big up Carefree Minerals. He's an ultra for 11 months. Salute to you, my geezer. He says, big up Johnny and Eunice. Newcastle spent around 400 million since their takeover, and they've won a trophy before Clown Lake, but our fans trust the process.
Big up to Newcastle, by the way. I was really happy for them, and I've seen images out of Newcastle, and the place has gone fucking doolally.
Limbs, isn't it?
It's gone mental over there. It's like, imagine Trafalgar Square completely packed out.
Yeah,
it's gone mad over there. I like. Good luck to them. Good luck.
How many slaps do you reckon Dex got on his forehead?
About 1 million.
Come on. Big up the Chelsea Empire. Mike Easy says, best duo in the game. Big up to you, Johnny and Eunice. Land it and get these clowns out. Pressure makes diamonds. No surrender. Facts. And we will keep going, brother. We ain't gonna stop. Richard Jordan, salute to you, my geezer. He says, Timber emasculated your gaffer. We were shy and still won easy. 6 years and counting without an L against, whatever, bruv. Yeah. We're the biggest club in London, most elite club, and we see things you'll never fucking see. So show some respect. You can have your banter, but show some respect to the biggest club in London. So have it right. You know what I'm saying?
Mate.
What's this gaffer to me anyway? What's he done? You know, I don't even get I'm rattled with how the mentality is and the acceptance is. And that all stems from the ownership that filters down to the manager, the directors they hired, and the manager that they got in the dugout, which would give you situations and scenes like this that are embarrassing to Chelsea supporters.
It is. Drogba used to rock up to their ground and just take the piss however he wanted. But year in, year out.
Fucking give
it Arsenal knew before they walked on the pitch they'd lost.
They're wetting themselves.
For years. And he's not wrong now, 6 years and counting, they've not lost to us, man.
Yeah.
They're returning the favour. Without us even realising, they're returning the favour.
But the only difference is we were winning trophies.
But we were winning trophies, of course. So they won't. they won't.
Yeah. They're still, you trust your process with Lego Ed and win nothing again. Do you know how many Arsenal supporters that I got? I know, some of my mates, whatever.
Yeah,
and they were actually concerned that they were going to drop points against us. I said, no chance.
Fucking hell, were they? We're all coming on.
Yeah, bro. They know their shit. They know it. That's what I'm saying. They were there for the taking. Big up Brian. He says, without my son Casado, we are mid as fuck. Blue coat out. We are really without. I think he's played a season. As dross as we've been, he's played a season. He gives it his all every single game. He's a great player. But they're going, oh, it's Sugo, whatever his name is. This is the regen of Casado. Casado hasn't even fucking become like world class yet. Casado's meant to be what? A regen of Kante. No chance, man.
Yeah.
No chance, bro. Do you understand what Kante was?
Exactly.
Kante was ridiculous, bruv. Fucking levels.
Proper.
He gets into any team in the world.
Yep.
2 players on the pitch in one. Fucking missed that player, man. What a team he had.
70% of the world's covered by water. The rest is covered by Kante, was it?
Yeah.
Who has that, bro? Who has that?
He's a goat. Humble as well. Big up to Ryan. He says, Enzo Maresca joking with Timber getting the bin. I mean, facts. We've spoken on that. Facts. Chelsea Emperor says, Marino, Tuchel, Conte, or not even Gianluca Vialli would allow Timber to take the piss like that. Embarrassing. The state of our club is at a super low. Yeah. We can thank all the journalists and all the toxic positivity melts and the results-driven mentality and the false hope merchants. Chelsea Supporters Trust for doing fuck all. I mean, it's everything. The ownership's arrogance. What do you want?
Don't smash the place up.
I know, man. It's just fucking up. I can't. They rattle me, these owners. Big up to Ryan. He says, no passion, no vision, no aggression, no mindset. Facts. It's nothing.
R.I.P. Runtman.
Yeah.
Oh, if he was around to see this, oh fuck it.
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah.
Big up Chelsea Empire says, only explanation for our players doing better elsewhere is because the sporting directors probably dictate the lineup and play style. 3 years in the same problem, Poch snapped and did it in his way, got sacked. And that's what I'm saying. They are dictating. You heard Alex from Strasbourg, remember when he was on the stream with us? And he says, Winstanley and Stewart go to Strasbourg and they dictate everything. For who? Egbali.
Yeah.
So it's no different at Chelsea. In fact, it's even worse at Chelsea. Because that's their main source of generating profit. So they need to make sure all their eyes and ears and their yes men are doing as they're told and making sure that everything's running as planned.
Yeah.
Brian says, land on Roman twice on these bozos, big up generals. I will do that at the end, Brian. Facts. And Chelsea Emperor says, Chelsea Sports Trust is bought. How do you write a letter and get on TalkSport v Simon Jordan to then go all silent when protest kicks off? Supporters Trust is all about them. They stayed silent about Vivid Seats. They went on about Vivid Seats, but do you know what they're more interested in? He's talking about how their logo's changed because of copyrights.
No.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Is that what they were talking about?
Yeah. Too busy talking about changing to get copyrights and trademarks sorted. For fucking what? What, we growing that as a brand? Is Clear Lake Supporters Trust, are they investing in that to help it grow so you can make some monies? What the fuck is it? Are you going to generate money to create a protest?
Who cares about the CST's logo? It's a logo. If it was Chelsea's logo and there was controversy around it, cool.
Something to do with Nike, they mention, and this and that. I'm like, what are we doing here?
What?
We've got more pressing issues than a logo. It's fact, honestly, fact on all levels. But we keep landing at you in this, bruv. We'll keep putting the pressure. We've got an international. I'm looking forward to Tuchel and England. I'll be real. I actually want to see some passion and see a real gaffer, bruv. You know, it's going to really ignite England.
Yep.
So we've got that. And you know we don't play for 2 weeks because we're out of the FA Cup.
I know.
How embarrassing, bro.
Yeah. Out in the 4th round.
Yeah, by Brighton. They killed us, man. That Premier League game as well. They fucking killed us. We didn't have one shot on target, bruv. Copenhagen didn't have one shot on target in the first half.
No.
Brighton, it was the whole game. And remember, in the second half, we had to rely on Reece James. And in the second half, we had to rely on who scored in the second half? Correa. Yeah. Leicester.
Yeah.
Southampton.
Yeah.
Southampton, we won 3-0 in it.
Oh no, Reece James and Enzo scored in the
Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the one at home, we didn't have a shot on target in the first half.
And then exactly, yeah. First leg, first half, second leg, first half was
We
the
got
same.
outplayed by these ones.
Yeah,
We got outplayed by them.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, bro. Trust the protest. That's it. That's the only thing that can work. I promise you. But on a large scale, it's the only thing that can work. Look at United in 1958, how they landed, 20,000 capacity, minerals, bro. Big up United Vlogs, big up to you lads for landing 24/7. Salute to you, my geezer. Elite protest, by the way. Elite protest, man.
Yeah, well done, guys.
That was serious, bruv. I'll put the footage out on that. But let's have it right. Eunice, what have you got coming up, my geezer? Because we've landed it for almost 2 hours. We've never done that. Emergency stream, innit?
It has been, yeah. No, well, keep up with I'm just going to keep up with all the latest and what's happening in this international break. Whatever PR we're going to be fed, because it's international break, we're going to be fed PR. So
yeah,
I'm ready. The plate's here. Feed us, and let's see what's going to happen. And the international break, I will cover that. I'll do the definitely the England game. Looking forward to that. Or England games. I think there's a couple of games. So yeah, that basically it. Wait for Chelsea to come back around again.
Well, I'll definitely be mudding and exposing all the PR that comes out, and I'm definitely going to be doing videos or streams after Thomas Tuchel for sure.
Yeah.
So let everyone know that. But listen, big up to everyone. Big up to you, Eunice, for dedicating your time.
No problem, mate.
And salute to all the Minerals FC Ultras. Put all your comments down below. Make sure you smash a like and hit a subscribe. What's that? Well, that Keenel's right, if I understand what he's saying. If you can read that, but he's right.
Yeah, I'm good. Apparently, I'm good at deciphering comments.
Yeah.
John, you know what? I realize that they are not giving you your subscription. Then, yeah, probably something about not being able to subscribe or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. But we move. Listen, up to Chelsea, up Minerals FC. Salute to all the ultras. Salute to our Chelsea old boys. We see things they'll never see. And win, lose or draw, blue cut out. I will. Oh yeah, he said yes. So listen, I'll leave you as Brian's requested, and all the ultras. Don Roman twice, and I'm sure we'll be back with Eunice sometime soon.
Definitely, yeah.
Up the Chelsea. As always, salute to Don Roman. Let's go.
Roman Abramovich! 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 Roman Abramovich!